1 second.
Perfect. I'd like to,
Okay.
ready? All right. I'd like to welcome everyone to the very first virtual Monday noon chamber meeting. So thank you for those in attendance. I appreciate it. We all do. And with that, Diana, would you mind leading us in the pledge?
Yes, thank you. Please follow me. The flag is behind me. I'll turn around and face it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. For whoso, is everybody saying it? Sorry.
Yes.
It's weird to not hear people. Sorry, Renee.
Myself. I pledge
Pledge
allegiance
allegiance to the
To the
flag
flag of the United States
to
of
the
America,
States of America,
and to the republic for which it
which it stands,
one
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 nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
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 indivisible,
indivisible,
with
liberty and justice for all.
all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Diana.
Sorry.
Appreciate it.
When
so
everybody's
a few
muted. Okay.
All right. So a few announcements and reports. I first want to let everybody know that doesn't know, as the vice chair, I'm coming into the position of chair as of officially July 1st. I'll be taking over for Seth. And with that, I'm excited to do my part, step up and continue being on the chamber board as the chair, incoming chair. Do we have, Renee, is Brian in attendance?
No, he did not. Brian Gonzalez, no, he did not make it today.
Yeah, okay. All right. And then a couple of short announcements on my side as far as banking. Just wanted to mention that our lobby is still locked for appointment only at this time. I'm hoping that changes very shortly. Our drive-through is still open. Banking hours 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. And we are actively still processing PPP loans. We're currently doing about 40 to 50 a day, and that's not just at the Fortuna location, that's Umpqua Bank as a whole. And we're currently just over $2 billion in funding dollars, with our average being about 40 to 45,000 with the funding per loan. So anybody has any questions, they can call me directly here, of course, at the bank. And with that, Renee, I'm going to turn it over to you for announcements. Or actually, no, sorry, back up a little bit. I wanted to, is Crystal Lewis on, Renee?
I'm on here.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to announce that the board has elected as of effective July 1st, Crystal Lewis from State Farm will be joining the Fortuna Chamber Board. So
Thank you.
Welcome, Crystal. We're excited to have you on board.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it and excited to be on there.
Awesome. And Renee, I'll turn it over to you for T&M committee member recruitment.
Yes. Okay. Everybody can hear me. Make sure for some reason my microphone is not working. Okay. Can anybody hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, good. For some reason, my green box isn't showing up around my face, which tells me that you can hear me. Okay, so yeah, I'll just get into some of the chamber announcements. The first one that Kelly just mentioned is we are looking for some people to join our tourism and marketing committee. That is an arm of the Fortuna Chamber. It's a subcommittee. We receive 10% of the transit occupancy tax from the city of Fortuna. That's a pass-through fund that they collect from our local hotels and motels. And that was back in 2009, that committee was formed. And what we're really hoping to get is some of our local businesses in the restaurant, hospitality, and even in the marketing industries to join us as we help rebound with this economy now that things are starting to open up. We're really hoping to get more community involvement, particularly in those sectors. So that we can have more representation for those businesses. We will have, unfortunately, a reduction in our funding due to the last few months that tourism has been stalled. However, we do have several projects in the works right now, one of which is redoing the 2 billboards on Highway 101 South. Those are nearing completion and will be installed probably within the next few months, hopefully maybe even by end of July if we're lucky. The committee has been working with the Humboldt Connection on those designs, and we're really excited to release those. We'll also be contributing heavily to tourism for the city, which it isn't just about getting people to spend the night. It's about coming to our town to shop, to recreate, to dine. Anyway, so if anyone is interested in participating in that committee, we do have 2 vacancies coming up. So I would love feedback from anybody, or spread the word. Please let people know. I'll be putting it in a future chamber email newsletter to alert folks. But if you're interested, just give me a call or send me an email. Okay, so that's my first thing. Okay, second announcement. If you saw one of my previous emails, we did have to postpone our June chamber mixer. That was going to be held at Humboldt Auto Styling, even though they do have an outdoor space. They're in the process of moving from one of the garage spaces to another, and Ashley, the wife of Jesus, who owns the business, is, I think, 4 or 5 months pregnant, so she was feeling a little overwhelmed, understandably. So hopefully we can get our chamber mixer calendar back going maybe by August if we're lucky. And then I think maybe we'll either just have like one big party for all of the mixers that we missed from January, or we'll push them into next year. So stay tuned for that. We also have a board meeting. Our chamber board is meeting on Wednesday, and we'll make a final determination on the chili cook-off. Chances are pretty good that that's canceled, but maybe we'll have some kind of direction otherwise. But for now, plan on that unfortunately being canceled. I'm sorry, Bob. You can't be our chili chairman. I know. Last year it's the last great one, but I think we'll twist your arm here and help us with being the chair again, because you're so good at it. What else do I have? An update on chamber operations. Our office still remains closed. I did apply for reopening. However, a large part of my job is being the visitor center, and so until there's tourism, I am perfectly capable of working from home. I like being remote. I'm actually, it's my office. It's great. But we may be looking at doing some more of these webinars in lieu of the Monday Club meeting. So if you guys are interested in that, shoot me your feedback either way, yes, no, or maybe. I know it's sometimes hard for folks to get away at lunch. So maybe doing remote or having that option might be helpful. Maybe we'll start recording them, even if they're in person. That way we can throw them up on YouTube and people can watch them. Because I know we do have a lot of interest from folks, but it's just hard sometimes to make it at lunchtime. Merritt Perry, our city manager, wanted me to let you guys know that City Hall offices, PD, and the park offices are now open. So you can go take care of whatever you need to there. The playground at the park is still not open. That is to remain closed for the time being. Also, the summer fun camp is open. They're actively taking registrations. So you can check out Facebook, or my Friday newsletter, I think, had the link for registering your child for that program. Also on Friday, the president signed the, as Kelly mentioned, the Paycheck Protection Program Flexibility Act. There are some key changes to the PPP program. Some of them are still in flux, awaiting for final language from between the SBA and the powers that be. So continue to keep an eye out for that information, but it does relax the rules a little bit. So the 75-25 rule is now 60-40, which means that you only have to spend 60% of your PPP towards payroll versus the 75%. And there's also exemptions for if you make a good faith offer to rehire an employee and they refuse to come back, you're no longer dinged for that, and that's considered an exemption. And there's some other things. I put it in a big long email today, but stay tuned for more information coming out of the local SBDC, and then of course the SBA. They'll have the final determination probably within the next few days. As we know, just because it passes the president's desk and Congress, it doesn't necessarily become the final bill. Lots of changes in language can happen, so we want to just keep everybody up to date on that. Also, Operation Celebrate is in full swing. If you have not jumped on the Fortuna Chamber webpage to vote for your favorite decorated window, please do that. We have a very heated race between 3 windows, which I will keep private, but it's exciting. We've had, last time I checked, we had 216 votes, so get out there. All the kids that are featured in a winning window will share in some of the prizes that we've been able to collect from our local merchants, and so help out by voting. We'll also give a nice little thank you gift from the chamber to our winning merchants. And finally, I already talked about continuing webinars if you guys are interested. So that's it. I will get off my soapbox and turn it back to Kelly.
All right. Thank you, Renee. Appreciate it. Do we have any announcements?
Yes.
I have a request. Hi, could we take the this off the table now, the agenda, because there's not much else on there, right? There's so stop sharing so I can get to see everybody a little bit bigger.
Sure.
Thank you.
So one thing I do want to say, we are having a fun, silly little game. So if while you're listening, if you want to grab a penny out of your piggy bank or your purse, we will be giving away this gorgeous bottle of Humboldt Distillery hand sanitizer, but you need a penny. So grab a penny. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing.
All right.
There we go. Okay.
Thank you, Renee. At this time, I wanted to ask, is there any announcements from any of the members? Anybody would like to speak up?
Yes, go
Are we
ahead.
unmuted, Renee?
Most are.
So great. So I'd like to say something, if I might. I'm sure that there's all sorts of people who want to say things, but 2 things. At the county level, over the weekend is when it was decided that we would open up the hairdressing salons and everything. And already, let's see, I've got the data here, but there's quite a few people who went through the process. 122 certifications were submitted and 101 have been given the go-ahead. So that a lot of people have done it. Some are just starting to go through the process now. The other thing is that I know you talked about tourism, and we have to be super careful about how we handle this, but we are going to be opening up tourism or the hotel space for leisure as well. As, you know, earlier on it was just essential, but it's going to be for leisure travel as well. So you might be seeing some more people using the hotels, and the campgrounds are going to be opened up too, and all of that's going to happen sometime after Friday. So I think the opening is moving forward pretty well. And the only thing that would stop us now is if we suddenly got a huge influx or a surge of infections again. But everybody had been concerned about what might happen after Memorial Day weekend, and so far things are looking really good. So I think we're moving in the right direction, and we just, you know, help people understand that if they continue with masks and social distancing, you know, we'll do well. And on that note, I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody involved in the protest rally that happened on Friday. It was really, I think, heartwarming for a lot of the people who were there, and I thank Diana for all of her work on that. It took on a certain kind of a tone that I didn't see at any of the other rallies. Basically, it was educational, and those kids were there to tell the people in it attending just how they're being affected by this kind of ingrained racism that's in some of our police departments. Now, that being said, we had the Fortuna Police Department there, and we know that the Eureka Police Department has spoken out, as has the sheriff. So I think we've got a really good commitment from Humboldt County in that regard. And I'm sorry to be on my soapbox, but I thought I wanted to say that, and then to thank everybody for doing such a great job this weekend.
Thank you, Estelle.
Over and that.
Any other announcements?
Estelle, can you just tell us when nail salons will be able, we'll be able to reopen because people are not happy.
Welcome to my world. It's been that way for a while. Okay, so, all right, nail salons. You know what? Tomorrow at the Board of Supervisors, which is also a Zoom meeting, we will have, as usual, at 9 o'clock, time certain, a presentation from the health officer and the sheriff. I will bring that very question up.
Thank
See
you.
if we can get some clarity. I think it's all based on, I know it's all based on the CDC protocols and what they see as more higher risk. And so they've gotten to the stage now where they think that, hair salons are okay. Even gyms, by the way, next weekend should be okay. So I think that, slowly but surely it becomes obvious that these things are really not going to contribute, especially if everybody's put in a safety plan, etc. But yeah, I'll bring it up tomorrow. So tune in.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dana.
Is there anybody else that'd like to announcement? Something to share? Right. Renee, are we ready for our game?
Sure. Has everybody got their penny?
All right. We'll start with you, Estelle, since you're the last one to speak. Estelle, what is the year of the penny that you have? Can you hear me
1973.
okay, Renee?
I can see that. 1973. Okay. Does anybody have a penny that is older than 1973? Dig deep in that piggy bank. Anybody? Come on, Bob. You're in a bank. You got to have a ton of pennies.
That would totally be cheating.
What about you, Diana?
I have a case of the Humboldt Distillery sanitizer here, so I would rather somebody else win.
You can gift it.
If you need a bottle of hand sanitizer, let me know.
Yeah,
That's good to know, actually.
Anybody else?
Can you hear me?
Is nobody?
Yeah.
Has
Oh,
nobody
wait,
done
Amy.
it? I have to confess to Bob. I cheated a little bit, okay? Because what I did was I texted Kathleen and I said, "Can you look in the bottom of my handbag and see if there's a penny?" And sure enough,
Amy,
No.
do you have a
it
penny?
turned out.
I do. It's 1958.
Oh,
Ooh, awesome.
Great.
Awesome. Okay, final call for pennies. Otherwise, it's going to Amy. All right. Congratulations, Amy.
yay.
This very, very fine bottle of high proof alcohol. Humboldt Distillery hand sanitizer is yours. when I get this to you, I have no idea, but just put your name on it. Awesome.
Thank you. Here's the penny. You probably can't see the date.
No.
You'll have to trust me.
We'll
So you
trust
guys, I'd love to see that. Does it actually smell like alcohol or?
I haven't cracked one open yet, so I don't know. Diana, have you cracked yours open yet? No, I know it's so pretty. I need to open them. Yeah, I'm waiting until my office reopens, and then I have some bottles that I'm handing out to our local businesses too as a thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Seth, do you have any parting words? This might be your last semi-official chamber meeting as chair. Put him on the spot.
Particularly, I mean, I guess I would just say, thank you to the board and to the members for this past year. It's been a great year. I know that, it's been a little bit challenging since this whole COVID and pandemic came about, but all in all, I think we're recovering well, and we should have a great year. And I look forward to Kelly's leadership this next year and hopefully get back to normal. So thank you everybody for all the support of me. I had a great year, and I look forward to seeing what Kelly has in store.
Thank you, Seth.
Hey Seth, what's the plan with the pigs and the animals that people are raising? Like I see yours in your background. Mine's a little different. Do you know?
There's going to be an online auction, kind of like Redwood Acres is kind of what we're hearing right now. So just waiting for Tony Machado to get more information. We're all kind of like just wondering and waiting to kind of see what will happen. But we're still raising her as if she's going to go to show. So, my daughter's first year, so I guarantee you that every year past this year will be easy compared to what we're going through this year. So hopefully everybody can rally up, because that fair has generated a ton of income for our kids over the past, many, many, many years. I know last year was well over $900,000. So I don't see it going that high because the online format won't be the same. But we definitely need to get out there as business owners and community members to support our kids. They really need it this year with what's going on, and they're all working very hard to make sure they raise really good animals. So hopefully we'll have more of a directed, date and time of when that's going to happen. So we'll just stay tuned.
Thank you, Seth. All right, Renee, was there anything else?
Just a friendly reminder that June is membership renewal month. So you will be seeing a letter from me. I know, get excited. We recognize, what this has meant to our community. We're also feeling the pinch through loss of funding from the city. So we appreciate that struggle, and we will be offering some options for our members to help ease some of those financial obligations, towards membership. So look for that letter. They'll start coming in the mail probably end of next week. And we hope, for your continued support so that we can continue representing business in the community and supporting our community at large.
Hey, Kelly, can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry, last couple announcements, when people are talking about different things. A letter is circulating right now, kind of a template of a letter to support Redwood Acres Fair. They are in letters to the state about keeping the fairground open. They're, got hit just like everyone else with budget cuts and also not being able to host any events. And right now it's an emergency shelter, or emergency kind of medical place. So they can't use a lot of buildings, and of course nothing is open, but they're just trying to get some community support because we've all used it in different ways. And so I will get that letter to Renee, and maybe we can get it out to our members. It's just just be able to support what, Redwood Acres does for all of our community. And they had, of course, canceled their fair and the kids showing and all. So just a heads up on that. And to kind of segue into that, I'm president of Humboldt Sponsors this year, and we always have our annual rummage sale there. And of course, we are not this year, would have been our 55th year. So that's, why I'm kind of giving a shout out to Redwood Acres. We all use it. And so just kind of want some more community support. But to continue with Humboldt Sponsors, we're sponsoring a blood drive on Wednesday, June 24th from 4 to 7. And, the blood needs do not stop with the pandemic. And they're starting to do surgeries and different things now in our hospitals. So the need is still great. So if you'd like to put that on your calendar, I'll send that information to you too, Renee, that we can get our community to support the blood bank. And so just a shout out for that. So that's all.
Becky, will they be having the van down here for the blood drive, or?
No, it will be at the blood bank. They do those Wednesday nights, and they will provide hot dogs and chips and masks if you don't have one, which you do need to have. And so, yeah, that's the problem, is they haven't been able to do a lot of mobiles, and they have done a few, but they couldn't do any of the schools or some of the businesses because they were closed. So the need is there. And so Humboldt Sponsors jumped on to kind of get the word out and sponsor it. And we got a flyer circulating. And so that's my announcement.
Thank you, Becky.
Welcome.
Anybody else?
Kelly, can I say another thing here?
Absolutely.
Just jumping off of what Becky was saying, testing is really, really important as we try to get things open, because they're looking for data to prove that we're in a good position. So anybody who's asymptomatic or has very low symptoms really should take the opportunity to go and get tested at Redwood Acres. That's totally free, or it's either take your insurance or it's paid for by the state. But bottom line, it's a good way also for the county to have the data that says that we don't have a huge amount of virus circulating in the community. So since Becky mentioned that, and by the way, the supervisors have already written a letter in support of Redwood Acres. So I think we should all follow up. Thank you.
Thank you, Estelle.
Hey, Estelle, I have one thing on that. I had a friend who was going to go get tested up at Redwood Acres, but they called their insurance company, and their insurance company said they wouldn't pay for it, and they had a fear of getting billed for it later. Do you know? I mean, I know that they said to come anyways, with or without insurance, but
No, the deal is that if the insurance doesn't pay, the state will. So it's covered. It's free. There's no doubt about it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Estelle, I do have a question. Is that the same for the antibody test there?
Right now, they're not doing the antibody test to the general public, although they did do 1,000 tests and they got like a little over 1%. I think that you're going to see more of that coming up pretty soon, because they are interested. And in the meantime, you can get an antibody test at a bunch of different places. But I would recommend, if you're not in a huge hurry, to wait till they're doing it, because that will be very solid data, because there's so many people now that are saying they can do an antibody test, but not all of the systems have been vetted and everything. This would give you a really solid answer, and a quick one too. But you can get it at several. The pharmacies don't want to do it because it's just going to be too much of a load on the pharmacies, but several of the clinics and doctors are doing it. It's just a skin prick.
Mm-hmm. All right, Renee, anything else?
No, I think that's it for me. That's all I had on my agenda.
Anybody else? One last call. All right. So I think this was the shortest Chamber Noon meeting, but a very, very first virtual. So thank you all for bearing with me. And I appreciate all of the input. And with that, it is a wrap until next time. So thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Nice to see everybody.
Bye.